Hello, Wildcats. 2027 four-star point guard Reese Alston visits Kentucky for Big Blue Madness. This is tremendous, and Stokes is almost guaranteed a spot on the BBN, which is big news. Let's get to the news. Reese Alston's arrival at Big Blue Madness isn't just a formal visit, but a clear sign that Kentucky remains an undisputed force in college basketball recruiting. Under Mark Pope, the Wildcats program has demonstrated a unique ability to attract young talent and mold them to shine on the sport's biggest stages. Alston's decision to be in Lexington on Saturday, October 11th, is a testament to the solid reputation Kentucky has built over the years and the tireless work of Pope and his staff to keep that flame burning. Since colleges were allowed to begin contacting prospects from the 2027 class on June 15th, Kentucky was one of the first to call Reese Alston. This early gesture was no accident. It reflects the program's proactive strategy of identifying and acquiring promising talent before other schools can even approach. For a player like Alston, who is already being courted by some of the best universities in the country, this early recognition was significant. In an interview with KSR+, he emphasized the importance of knowing that an institution of Kentucky's caliber believes in his potential. It's simply a great opportunity. An opportunity is something Reese Alston seems to know how to seize. At just 6 feet 2 inches and 175 pounds, the point guard from Second Baptist School in Houston, Texas, is already emerging as one of the most precious gems in the 2027 class. According to the Rivals Industry Ranking, which combines evaluations from all major recruiting services, Alston ranks as the 22nd best overall prospect in the country. However, his specific rankings are even more impressive. He's considered the second best point guard and 9th best player in his class. These numbers aren't just statistics. They reflect the impact Alston is already having on the game even before reaching the college level. What makes Reese Alston so special? His father, Rafer Alston, a former NBA point guard and veteran with notable stints with teams like the Miami Heat and Houston Rockets, offers a privileged insight into his son's talent. His biggest strength is his athleticism, his quick first step, and his ability to always be in control, Rafer told KSR+. He adds, no matter what the defense throws at him, he's always in control, and he's not a kid who gets rattled. That's the impressive part about him. To have that kind of poise at this age is just incredible. Words like these carry weight, especially when coming from someone with Rafer's experience, who has faced some of the best players in the world during his professional career. Furthermore, Alston's visit to Big Blue Madness comes at a strategic time. The event, known for its infectious energy and unique atmosphere, serves as the perfect showcase for prospects to see what it means to wear a Wildcats uniform. For a player like Reese, who is already being compared to future greats, this experience could be decisive in forging his connection with Kentucky. The fact that he chose Lexington over so many available options reinforces the program's magnetism, regardless of the competition. It's also worth noting that Reese Alston isn't limiting his options. He recently made an unofficial visit to Wichita State, demonstrating that he's exploring all possibilities before making a final decision. However, the decision to include Kentucky on his visiting schedule is a clear indication that the Wildcats are well-positioned on his list of preferences. And with Mark Pope at the helm, the program has all the tools necessary to convince Alston that Lexington is the ideal place to develop his game and reach new heights. Reese Alston's presence at Big Blue Madness not only elevates the event's prestige, but also reaffirms Kentucky's commitment to attracting future basketball stars. It's impossible not to be excited about what the future holds for the Wildcats, especially when it involves a talent like Alston. His visit is a reminder that, even in a competitive and ever-changing landscape, Kentucky remains a beacon for young players dreaming of making their mark on the sport. Mark Pope talks about recruiting with the enthusiasm of someone who understands that rebuilding Kentucky isn't just about gathering stars, but also aligning competitive souls. In just over a year at the helm, the coach has transformed the way the program thinks about its own identity, and his words this past Monday confirmed that he's not just building teams, he's shaping a culture. Kentucky enters 2025-26 with a completely different structure than last season. 2 seniors on scholarship, a largely young roster, and a philosophy that focuses on continuous development. Pope knows that to keep the Wildcats among the powerhouses of college basketball, it's necessary to understand that the game has changed and that recruiting has become even more complex. You'd be shocked at how many times we end up giving up on each other, Pope said, referring to the process of selecting new talent. The statement sounds simple, but it reveals how far Kentucky has moved away from a logic based purely on rankings and stars. The coach wants players who understand what it means to play in Lexington, who can handle the pressure and the program's grandeur. The most important part isn't finding the best, highest-ranked player, he explained. It's finding the right player for Kentucky, in a landscape transformed by the Chamber of Deputies Agreement, which redefined the compensation model and introduced an informal salary cap for college sports. Pope has proven adaptable. He acknowledges the challenge of operating amid new and fluctuating rules, but does so with the optimism of someone who sees opportunity where many see confusion. Once again, for this next cycle, we're working under a completely new set of rules, he said. We're modeling every day. It's complicated. Honesty is one of Pope's hallmarks. He doesn't try to sell the illusion of absolute control over the chaos that has taken over modern recruiting, but demonstrates something more valuable: clarity of purpose. The Kentucky coach doesn't just want to win on the court. He wants to win in the process. We're so excited about this team that our main focus is there. Right now, we feel like we have a beautiful Ferrari and we can't wait to take it for a spin, he joked, referring to the team he's in charge of this season. The enthusiasm is contagious, and Pope makes a point of reminding everyone that recruiting is, above all, an exercise in human connection. He talks about players not as assets, but as people. The most important thing is that you get to know each other and understand what really motivates a player, and a player needs to understand what really drives a program, he stated. It's a philosophy that almost runs counter to the tide of current college basketball, dominated by instant transfers and decisions made based on numbers. Even without confirmed commitments for the 2026 class, Pope doesn't seem rushed. He prefers to build solid relationships, even if some don't result in signings. Even with the kids we recruited so diligently who eventually discovered this isn't the right fit for them, we've had the chance to build a great relationship. This world is so small, so we're going to cross paths 100 times. This approach reveals something essential. Mark Pope isn't just trying to restore Kentucky's luster, but to redefine what it means to be part of the program. While other coaches chase names, he seeks compatibility, maturity, and passion. And amid so many transformations, this human and structured vision may be precisely the difference that will keep Kentucky relevant for many years to come. At a time when building a roster has become a financial and emotional puzzle, Mark Pope seems to find joy in solving the riddle. He's a great guy. The race for Tyron Stokes, the nation's top-ranked player, is becoming one of the most exciting chapters in college basketball recruiting. And at the center of this narrative, Kentucky is emerging as a powerful force, with Mark Pope and his staff demonstrating mastery in positioning the Wildcats as a top contender in the race for this extraordinary talent. With only 5 finalist schools, Kentucky, Louisville, Oregon, Kansas, and USC, still in the running, the battle for Stokes' commitment is intense, but signs point to Kentucky's growing advantage. Stokes, who recently shined on a national broadcast on ESPN2, showed the world why he is considered the best prospect in the country. His decisive performance against Dynamic Prep was nothing short of spectacular. Scoring 27 points and grabbing 8 rebounds, he led Notre Dame to an epic comeback that erased a 16-point deficit. In the final moments, with the game hanging in the balance and his future on the line, it was Stokes who intercepted the pass intended for Marcus Spears Jr., a top 10 talent in the class of 2027, securing the victory for his team. These moments define not only his technical ability, but also his character and ability to deliver when it matters most. The fact that Stokes has narrowed his list of suitors to just 5 schools reflects his focused and pragmatic mindset. "I don't think I'm going to take any more visits at this point," he told ESPN, explaining that he prefers to focus his energy on the institutions he already knows deeply. "It's a little late, at least for me, to take any more visits and talk to new coaches and things like that. I like the 5 schools I'm at right now. I'm just going to take my time, focus on this, and figure out from those 5 schools where I'm going." This comment reveals that Stokes is seeking quality over quantity, valuing the connections he's already established and the vision each program offers for his future career. Kentucky appears to be a strong candidate. While Stokes hasn't yet set a specific timetable for his decision, rumors and analysis point to a significant advantage for the Wildcats. Recruiting guru Joe Tipton, known for his accuracy and candor, reinforced this perception by noting that Kentucky is the school that comes up most frequently in discussions about the player's future. For Tipton, Mark Pope and his staff are in a solid position, building a genuine relationship with Stokes and presenting a clear plan for his development in both basketball and his newfound passion for high school football. However, the competition remains fierce. Oregon, with the financial backing and influence of Phil Knight, is making a late push, trying to steal the lead from Kentucky in the final moments. The rivalry between the Ducks and the Wildcats promises to be one of the most interesting storylines in this story, especially since Stokes appears to be carefully evaluating all options before making his decision. Another intriguing point is the lack of official predictions or clear individual predictions regarding Stokes' fate. Although 247 Sports issued a collective projection attributed to the sports team, indicating Kentucky is the favorite, the lack of courage among individual analysts to publicly bet on a specific pick reflects the complexity and uncertainty surrounding this process. On the other hand, Tipton, with a straightforward approach, suggests that Kentucky is in a privileged position, but warns that the finish line may still hold surprises. With Pope, the program has worked hard to reclaim its reputation as a premium destination for the nation's best talent. Stokes, with his unique combination of athletic ability, game intelligence, and winning mentality, would be a huge boost to Pope's project. He's not just an elite player. He represents the kind of transformative piece that could elevate Kentucky back to the top of college basketball. While Stokes' final decision is still pending, Big Blue Nation eagerly awaits any sign of where he will decide to take his talent. Regardless of the outcome, Kentucky's push for Tyron Stokes is a testament to the hard work and dedication of Mark Pope and his staff. Let's see how this plays out. Comment,